All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. This time we're going to be talking about something that I know I struggle with, and I'm sure all of you guys out there do as well, and that's energy levels.
Yeah.
And how those are connected to those cravings that we get.
Mm-hmm.
You guys sent over some really interesting stuff, and it seems like a lot of what you're reading is about the connection between our gut and our energy.
For sure.
Like that article you sent on gut health and energy levels, that was a fascinating one.
Absolutely. I think that understanding how our gut microbiome impacts our energy production is really kind of like the next frontier in all of this wellness stuff. And I think it really highlights just how interconnected everything in our body is.
Absolutely. And I think, we were talking about energy. We can't just think about willpower.
Right.
It's about so many different factors.
Totally.
Our hormones, our blood sugar.
Right.
What we eat.
Yeah, it's a complex interplay of all those things.
Absolutely. So let's unpack some of that. Okay, so I think something that everybody listening has experienced before is that classic mid-afternoon crash.
Yeah.
You're going along, you're feeling great, you're being really productive, and then boom.
3 p.m.
Yeah, you just feel like you need a nap or you need a sugary snack or something.
Yeah, you want that little boost.
Yeah.
You need something.
Yeah, and I know I've definitely been there.
Yeah.
And the sources that you sent over talk a lot about blood sugar.
Oh, for sure.
And how that plays a role in that energy crash.
Well, when you eat something sugary, it spikes your blood sugar. So you get that burst of energy.
Yeah.
But then it crashes just as quickly, leaving you feeling drained.
Yeah.
And then you're looking for another sugar fix.
Exactly. So it's a
vicious cycle.
Vicious cycle.
It is.
Okay. So how do we break out of that cycle? The sources that you sent over have some great tips.
Yeah.
And it seems like the key here is to take a multi-pronged approach.
Multi-pronged for sure.
Yeah. Okay. So let's break down some of those prongs.
Yeah.
First and foremost seems to be balanced nutrition.
Oh, absolutely. That's the foundation of everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what does it actually mean, though?
Right.
I mean, we hear balanced nutrition all the time.
Well, so much of our energy and how we feel comes back to what we're eating.
Yeah.
And so often, instead of eating those simple carbs that lead to those sugar spikes and crashes, we need to focus on complex carbohydrates.
Okay, complex carbohydrates, like what specifically?
So think about like whole grains.
Okay.
Fruits, vegetables, things that are going to release energy over a longer period of time. It's like a time release capsule of energy instead of that quick burst.
Right. And it's not just about avoiding the bad stuff, but adding in more of the good stuff.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, and fiber is a big part of that.
Okay, so where do we get fiber?
Well, you get it in all those complex carbs that we were just talking about. So those whole grains, fruits and vegetables, they're full of fiber.
Gotcha.
And what's great about fiber is it slows down digestion.
Okay.
It helps us feel full longer, and that helps keep our blood sugar levels nice and stable, so we're not getting those spikes and crashes.
Right. And speaking of feeling full, protein is really important too, right?
Oh, absolutely. Protein is crucial for energy management.
Okay.
It helps us feel satisfied. It prevents those energy dips that often trigger cravings. So making sure you're getting enough protein is going to really help.
I was going to ask you about this because a lot of the sources that we got sent over talked about this idea of intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
And how some people find that helps them to
have more energy.
Yeah, have more energy. It's definitely a trend.
Yeah.
But there's emerging research on it.
Yeah.
It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Right.
So it's really important to talk to a healthcare professional.
To see if it's right for you and also to make sure that you're doing it safely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think the takeaway there is, that it's about making sustainable changes.
For sure.
Not just about a quick fix.
You got it.
Right. Okay. Speaking of things that can really help with our energy.
Yeah.
The sources also talk a lot about hydration.
Oh, yeah.
I am so guilty of this.
Me too.
I will go hours and hours and hours.
It's so easy to do.
And not drink any water.
It really is.
And I realize I'm feeling tired.
Yeah.
Or I'm feeling hungry and I think I need to eat.
Totally.
And then I'll have a glass of water.
And you're like, oh, that's what it was?
And I'm like,
I was just thirsty.
That's all I needed.
Yeah.
I was just dehydrated.
And, even mild dehydration can really sap your energy.
So the key there is to drink water consistently throughout the day.
Absolutely. And, a lot of people find it helpful to carry a water bottle with them.
Yeah.
You can even get those ones with the little time markers to remind you to drink.
Yeah.
Or set reminders on your phone.
Totally.
Or if plain water is just not your thing,
Yeah.
you can try infusing it with fruits or herbs.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Just to give it a little flavor boost.
I like that. Okay, so we've got balanced nutrition.
Yeah.
We've got hydration.
Mm-hmm.
What else can we do to keep our energy nice and steady?
Well, let's think about what happens when you let yourself get too hungry.
Oh, yeah, okay. So this is like,
Yeah.
I'm starving.
Yeah.
I need to eat right now, and so I grab the first thing I see.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Impulsive snacking.
It's usually not the healthy choice either.
Yeah, it rarely is.
Right.
So that's why strategic meal planning is so important.
Okay.
Eating smaller, more frequent meals with balanced snacks can really help prevent those extreme hunger pangs and keep your energy levels more stable.
Yeah.
It's all about setting yourself up for success.
Yeah. It's like having a meal plan.
It is.
Or a game plan for your day. So okay, I'm going to be out and about for 3 hours today. I need to make sure I have something with me.
Exactly.
So I'm not,
So you're not just hitting the vending machine.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meal prepping has really helped me with that.
Oh, yeah. I love meal prep.
Just taking it, an hour or two on the weekend to chop up some vegetables and have things ready to go.
It's a game changer.
And it makes such a difference.
Simply.
Okay. So we've talked about what we're putting into our bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's talk about some other things that can really affect our energy levels.
Okay.
Like sleep.
Oh, yeah.
And stress.
2 big ones.
Yes.
Huge.
I know. I feel it. If I have a couple nights in a row where I'm not sleeping well, I am just dragging.
Yeah, it's like an energy leak. Those consistent sleep schedules and making sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours of quality rest.
Yeah.
Those are non-negotiables.
Yeah.
Think of it like recharging your battery.
Yeah.
If you're not plugging in at night and letting that battery recharge, you're going to be running on empty.
Right. And it's not just about the quantity of sleep.
No.
It's about the quality.
For sure.
I can sleep for 8 hours. Right. But if I'm not sleeping well,
you don't feel rested.
I'm going to wake up feeling exhausted.
Exactly.
So creating that relaxing bedtime routine can really make a difference.
Absolutely no screens for at least an hour before bed.
Okay.
A warm bath, a good book, anything that helps you unwind.
Okay. I'm making notes. Okay. And then there's stress.
Oh, yeah.
Which just...
the energy vampire.
It feels like a weight.
It really does.
Yeah. And the sources that you sent really highlight how chronic stress can just deplete our energy reserves.
Totally.
So what are some ways that we can better manage that stress?
Well, even taking a few minutes every day to meditate can be so beneficial. And if meditation is not your thing, even just deep breathing exercises can help calm your nervous system.
Right.
And we can't forget about physical activity.
Oh, yeah?
That's a fantastic stress reliever.
It's funny because when I'm feeling stressed, I don't want to exercise. I want to curl up on the couch.
Right.
But I know that if I can just get myself to do it, I always feel so much better afterwards.
Yeah, you get that endorphin rush. You're like, why don't I do this more often?
Exactly. It's so good for you.
And you mentioned physical activity. We're talking about sleep and stress. But exercise is also a great way.
Huge energy booster.
To boost our energy.
Absolutely.
Right. The sources you sent mentioned that it's really good to try to get a combination of cardio and strength training. Because that can help to boost our metabolism.
For sure.
But it doesn't have to be, running a marathon.
No, it doesn't have to be crazy.
Yeah.
Small bursts of movement throughout the day.
Right. Can make a difference.
Like taking the stairs.
Exactly.
Instead of the elevator.
Or parking further away from the store.
Yeah.
So you have to walk a little bit.
Or walking around while you're on the phone.
Yes.
Those little things can really add up.
They really care.
Okay. And one other thing that I wanted to touch on that really stood out to me in the sources you sent. Was this idea of mindful eating.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
It's not just about what we eat.
No.
But it's about how we eat.
Totally.
I've been trying to be more mindful about my eating habits.
Yeah.
And it's crazy the difference that it's made.
Right.
I used to just inhale my food.
Too.
Without even really tasting it.
Yeah, you're just shoveling it in.
I know, and I'm like...
Especially when you're busy.
I would finish a meal and be like, wait a minute. I don't even remember eating that.
I know.
So mindful eating is really about slowing down,
Mm-hmm.
savoring each bite,
Yeah.
and really paying attention to those hunger and fullness cues that our body is giving us.
It's about bringing awareness to the entire eating experience,
Yeah,
instead
absolutely.
of just
Turning a chore
mindlessly doing it.
into more of an experience.
Totally.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, and speaking of experiences,
Yeah.
those cravings that we get.
Yeah.
What about those?
Well, the sources highlight the importance of healthy substitutions.
Okay, so give me some examples.
So instead of reaching for that bag of chips when you get a craving, have a handful of nuts or some fresh fruit on hand.
Okay.
Trade that sugary soda for a refreshing glass of water or herbal tea.
Yeah.
Just having those healthier options readily available can make all the difference.
Right. So it's about planning ahead.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, before we wrap up, I know that a lot of the sources mention dietary supplements.
Oh, yeah.
So we do want to mention that it is really important to consult with your doctor or a registered dietitian. Before adding any supplements to your routine, they can assess if you have any deficiencies and guide you on the safe and effective options for you.
Because supplements should complement a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Not replace it.
That's a really good point.
It is.
Okay, so as we bring this deep dive to a close, it seems like the key takeaways are listening to our body.
Yes.
Staying hydrated, eating mindfully.
Yes, for sure.
Prioritizing sleep.
Yeah.
Managing our stress and being consistent.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones.
Those are the big ones. And it's not easy.
No.
But it's worth it.
It is.
I was thinking as you were talking about mindful eating and just being intentional about how we're living our lives.
Yeah.
That the sources really focus on the physical aspects of energy management.
Yeah.
But what about the mental and emotional
that's so important.
components?
You can be doing all the right things physically. But if you are mentally and emotionally drained, it's going to impact your energy levels.
Absolutely.
So it's important to pay attention to all of it.
Yeah. And what are some things that people can do to be more aware of their mental and emotional?
Well, I think it's about taking some time to reflect.
Okay.
What activities and environments energize you versus those that drain you.
What makes you feel good.
Exactly. What brings you joy, what sparks your creativity, Nurturing those aspects of your life can have a profound impact on your overall energy levels.
That's such a good point.
It is.
Something to think about for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into managing energy and cravings.
My pleasure.
We hope you found these insights valuable. We encourage you to apply what you've learned and see how it impacts your energy levels. It helps you to manage those cravings.
Totally.
Until next time.
See you then.